All right, doing a little inverses. So this is our last time to improve our score. Inverses means you undo things, so you need to know the right order of things to do things in the first place in order to undo them. So here we have multiplication and addition. Multiplication comes first. It's also really kind of division if you think about it. I'm really dividing by 3. So I'm going to say that really what I'm doing is dividing by 3 first and then adding 5. That is the correct order of PEMDAS. Multiply or division and then addition. So now I'm going to do it in the opposite order. So I'm going to subtract the 5 and then I'm going to multiply times 3. So when we say subtract the 5, first we put the x there, and then we say subtract the 5, and then we say multiply by 3. Now, a lot of you are just forgetting this little parentheses there. So important to remember that, because the whole thing, whatever you have at this moment, needs to be multiplied by 3. So when we do that, you notice that this is totally not the answer, because you need to distribute and get this as your answer, 3x minus 15. So be careful about the parentheses. All right, we're looking at this relation here and seeing if it's a function. So we look and we say, okay, well, I've got 2 inputs that are the same, but they are giving me different outputs. So no, it is not a function, because one gives a 4 and a negative 4. So that means it is inconsistent. Is the inverse a function? Well, we write the inverse. And we do need to make sure we write it correctly. A lot of you I saw just wrote it wrong, which is kind of silly. So just take the time, make sure that it's correct. We do have 2 inputs that are the same, again giving us 2 different outputs. So no, it is not a function, because this time 4 gives a 1 and a negative 1. So that is also not a function. Now let's look at this guy here. So this is the same type of thing. We're saying, okay, do you see this one? This one is giving us a whole bunch. Like if I plugged in 1, I'd be like, well, I don't know what my answer is. It's a lot of different things. So by the vertical line test, I know that this is not a function. So is out. So I'm down to these guys here. Really, when it's done, when it's all said and done, it really ends up looking a bit like that when you're finished. So if you look here, the vertical line test won't pass. But if you look back here, you can think of the horizontal line test. So if this isn't going to pass, when I flip the x's and the y's, it's not going to pass either. So again, for the function itself, the original, you just look at the vertical. For when it's flipped, you want to look at the horizontal. And you can see it's going through 3 different points here. Definitely not going to be a function. So it is a not, neither what it is, nor is the inverse actually a function. Okay, we have one left one to go. Again, you've got all this stuff that is happening. You've got well, this is really division. So you've got division, you've got addition, you've got an exponent, and inside here technically is really a parentheses with a -3 in there. So the order of operations that you would need to do it in, if you're looking at PEMDAS, is first your parentheses, which is all this stuff in here. So the first thing you're really supposed to do is subtract a 3. Then the exponent, which is the square root. Then the division, which is divide by 2. And then the addition, which is add 4. So to go backwards, we're going to subtract a 4, and then times by 2, and then square it, and then add a 3. So that is the order that we're going to do it in backwards. So I say x minus 4, I've done the first one, times the whole thing, whatever it is that you have, by 2. Then square that whole thing, and then finally add a 3. So we can simplify inside here. This would be 2x minus 8, like that. If you had that on your test, I'd be okay with that. Technically, we can simplify that some more. So let's go ahead and do that. When I simplify that more, I end up getting 4x squared minus 32x plus 64 plus 3. And this. So depending on what exactly you are expected to have, you may have different answers there. So again, this would be okay. This would probably be a little bit better because it's all totally simplified and nice and pretty. That is inverses. All right. I feel like I'm going a million miles an hour, but you can always just, pause and whatever. All right.